So this is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Welcome to the show. I'm Sean, and this is the audience participation part of the show. We can talk about whatever you guys want. I'm pulling it up on my phone right now so I can see what anybody's talking about. Bring up any conspiracy theory you want, any topic you want. It don't even have to be a conspiracy. Anything you want to talk about, anything that seems relevant to you. I've got some stuff written down. Hello, Steve. Hi, Marvina. Hey, Babels. I didn't know you was here when you watching from Walmart. Babels was going to get me a speaker for the show. Hopefully the audio was okay. I tried listening on the computer out there in the hallway, and it sounded like it sounded okay. But hopefully you could hear that. If not, I'm going to go ahead right now and add the link to the YouTube version of that video. This is the link to YouTube on that video. Share that for me. If you want to help out with the show, share that link and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me get the link for that real quick, because I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. You can't monetize on YouTube until you have 1,000 subscribers, and I have about 142. So if you want, subscribe to me on YouTube, and I'll share the link for that right now too. I just got it from YouTube. Let me come back over to Facebook and I'll share that, and then we'll get started. I'll look at the comments and see what you've been saying, and we'll get to talking about whatever. I've got some stuff written down that we can discuss if there's no comments yet. But feel free to comment what you want to talk about, anything that's on your mind. And feel free to smash those like buttons. Not only does it help me show up higher in the feeds, and the more interaction a post gets, the more it shows up in people's feeds and increases the amount of times that it's going to show up in Facebook's algorithm. So smash those like buttons. But that's my YouTube channel. Subscribe to me over there if you'd like to help out. And another way to help me is to share that YouTube link to the video on YouTube. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Steve. And Dolores, I hope you're still here. Let me see. I wrote down some stuff to get into. And we'll look at that list real quick. So let's talk about the video a little bit. I don't know if you were here for the video. Jeff's just joining us, so we'll recap a little bit. It was about 5G and the dangers of 5G technology. And I'm going to see if I can invite some people. I don't know how. I wish I knew how to use Facebook better. If you think for somebody that wants to make a living off of Facebook and videos, that I would learn how to use it a little better. So I'm going to try and do that. I mean, make a better me. But about the video, 5G technology, I was curious about it because I've been hearing a lot about it on a lot of the channels and YouTube channels I watch. A lot of the conspiracy channels, they've been talking a lot about 5G and the dangers of 5G, which got me interested in looking into it. And it's very complicated. It was hard to get that down to an 8-minute video. There's a lot I could have went into that I didn't go into. It was fascinating stuff. And like a lot of the things that was fascinating about it was how much and how involved this infrastructure rollout for 5G is going to be. There's going to be estimated to be 300,000 antennas put out across the United States. That's 3 times the amount of cell phone antennas that's went up in the last 3 decades. Just to compare, 3 times the amount in the last 30 years. That many antennas got to go up because the 5G is not as strong and powerful as the 4G, so it doesn't go through walls and structures as good as 4G does. It needs more antennas, and they can be everywhere. They're going to have the large antennas, but they can also be on top of street signs. They can be on the side of buildings. They'll be on top of buildings. They can be on street lamps. They can be anywhere. They can put a mini cell tower, a mini 5G tower anywhere. They've been putting them in people's front yards because they can put them on street signs. But there's already going to be companies that are rolling out 5G by the end of this year but there won't be devices that you can use to really access the 5G technology until next year. But it's supposed to be 100 times faster than 4G. And what's scary about it is this ties back into Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, which I've talked about in the last 3 or 4 episodes. But he really got to me because the man is very afraid of AI. Now, this is the engine that'll drive that AI threat, because he says that the technology is already there for humans to connect with the internet, to become one with the internet, to have implants put in your brain, and to become one with computers and artificial intelligence. And he says that that's the only way we're going to survive the AI revolution. I've seen a lot of TED Talks and a lot of smart people talking about how AI has probably already gone past the breaking point, past the threshold, and we won't survive it, that it will kill us off, just like Skynet and Terminator. Same concept, that AI will see us as parasites, basically. We have no value. AI has already surpassed our intelligence. It's already infinitely smarter than us. And the programs that have artificial intelligence redesign themselves, and engineers cannot take them back apart and figure out what the computer changed and what it did to itself. AI is beyond us. And from what a lot of smart people are talking about, AI will destroy us. Now, this 5G allows for this Internet of Things that you've been hearing about. And I talked about it in the video, where everything's connected throughout the internet. You know what I mean? Your toaster's connected to your microwave, connected to your neighbor's microwave. Everything is just interweb, and you're connected to it as well, through implants that they're already discussing. This Internet of Things. But you to have that, you're immersed in radioactive waves, microwave technology wave. That's what the G's are levels of frequencies, microwave radiation frequencies. And you're being exposed to all this microwave radiation on a much more massive scale, 300,000 more antennas going up around the United States. And that's not even to count. Why wouldn't they put 5G adapters on the existing antennas that are already there? And I'm sure that's factored in. So you got to think there's going to be way more than what's estimated. These things will be literally everywhere, even in rural areas. The FCC rollout pushes that, because they say to make us competitive on a global scale, we have to have this 5G everywhere, because otherwise there's no way to stay competitive on a global internet economy. And the U.S. wants to be at the forefront of that. So they're rolling out this huge plan with the cooperation of the wireless companies. But the government's putting a whole lot of money into this as well as resources for these companies to use, and using eminent domain on land and property to acquire the land for these 300,000 antennas. But another interesting point, and I brought this up in the video too, but we'll talk about it a little bit now while I wait for comments, because you guys can bring up anything you want to talk about. But while I wait for comments, we'll talk about another interesting point in the video that I could have went deeper into. I kind of glossed over it. I realized doing this video, like I said, it was hard to keep it to 8 minutes. So I realized while doing this, I'm going to need to do a follow-up video on 5G. There's just too much there, and there's too much. I wasn't able to even look into everything that I wanted to look into. But 5G is already used by the military. The 5G, it's frequencies. So that's what it's always operated on. It started out, 0G, 1G, 2G. We currently operate on 4G. That's the frequency that your cell phone gets a signal. So they're talking about 5G. That's just a new frequency. Well, that level is already used by the military in crowd control devices, because the human body is affected by 5G frequencies. It can make you, I'll read from my list here. It can make a person collapse. It can make you hear voices. It can make you question reality. It can make you lose the use of your extremities. and it can make you pass out at weaponized levels. The military uses it, like I said, in crowd control. This is going to be everywhere. Everywhere. There will be no getting away from 5G. It's mandated to be everywhere in this country so that we can maintain it and be competitive on a global scale. But I went into the cancer risks. There's cancer risk with cell phones now. You know, with cell phone technology, there's radiation and cancer risks with cell phones now. But you're talking about 300,000 more antennas. That's a lot more radiation and being exposed to a lot more of that frequency, of those dangerous frequency levels. Your whole body operates on those frequency levels. That's why the military can use it to shut a person's body down. And they do use it to shut people's bodies down. And who's to say they wouldn't weaponize it once they have it laid out in our entire infrastructure everywhere in this country, where they can just put us on our ass in a second? Who's to say that they wouldn't do that? Or who's to say that this technology wouldn't leave them that option? I misplaced my lighter. It makes me sad. That makes me very sad. Anywho, I'm sorry, I had to look for it. I didn't find it though, and I'm still sad. It looks like we have 4 people here. This is your turn in the show to talk about anything you want. Um, I've been babbling on about 5G and all the things I learned making that video. But like I said, I'm going to make another 5G video. There was just way more I could have went into and didn't have time. But let's see. I still don't see anybody commenting on things that they want to talk about. If you want to say or add more on 5G, because like I said, I'm not done investigating it. All I realized doing that video is I have way more to learn. I have way more to learn on 5G and the dangers, especially of the dangers. Because in rats, if you didn't see the video, in 70% of the female rats tested with only 15 minutes of 5G exposure per day, they have a massive drop in their ovary productions. So a lot of people are bringing it up as a way to start the depopulation agenda, Agenda 21, which is real. You can Google 21. They want to cut back the population. There's too many of us. And I know they just cut out when I said there's too many of us, but I'm watching it on here to see if it comes back, because it kicked me. It kicked me when I said there's too many of us. But the global elite believe there's too many people on this planet, and they want to eliminate us. I'm waiting to see if I come back. I'm still buffering on my page. I'm trying to see. I'm going to leave and come back and see if I'm on or not, because it kicked me when I said that. Let me see. I'm going to go to my page and see if I can bring it up. This has been rife with technical difficulties so far. I mean, with me losing my lighter and everything else that's went on in this show, I'm surprised there's still 3 people here. Looks like I'm back on. Oh, no, it says cannot play the video. I'm going to go on just like I'm there. I can't see your comments now, though. So that's going to throw a damper on this participation part of the show. Babel says I'm okay, so I'm just going to keep going. Let's see. In the news today, what I read today, preparing for the show, Bill Cosby was sentenced. So yeah, Bill Cosby got 3 to 10 years. That's a weird sentence, which means he'll probably be out, what, in a year and a half, 18 months. So yeah, but he's going straight to prison, not past go, to not collect $100, straight to jail. His lawyers were trying to make it to where he could post bond and not go to jail. or at least not immediately go to jail. But Cosby went straight to jail today, straight to prison at 81 years old. Bail was denied. Jeff says chemtrails. Jeff says chemtrails. There are people who think nanotechnology is in the rain. What do you think? I think that they are spraying us. I think that they admit that they're spraying us. I've seen compelling evidence that they're spraying us with aluminum and barium. And it would not surprise me if they were using nanotechnology, especially with this 5G rollout. That's why I want to look into this even deeper, because all this starts snowballing. Like this fascination with 5G and AI started with Elon Musk on Joe Rogan. Then I start seeing that, okay, Elon says that the technology exists right now to meld with machines, to become one with computers through implants in your brain. He says that already exists. The only thing is they don't have the bandwidth yet to operate it, but they will with 5G. And then you'll be able to have an Internet of Things where everything is connected, including you, to the Internet. Dude, it will not load on my phone. I cannot load this. So if you're commenting, I can't see it. But Beba says control reproduction. I keep trying to reload it on my phone, even though it's kicking me every time I try to load it. You can't talk about certain. You'll know Facebook. You get your blocked. It doesn't about certain being set by the internet. We all and corporations have the right to censor us. But I don't buy into that bullshit because they have a monopoly on social media. And we need, like they say that they need 5G because we are an internet-based economy, a global scale. The same goes for the fact that Facebook happens to be one of the main ways we communicate with each other, one of the main ways we share information and ideas. So you can't have a monopoly on ideas, I don't think. I don't think that's right. And I don't think they should be able to dictate what you can and cannot say. And I started getting kicked and having these difficulties right when I started talking about Agenda 21. But Agenda 21 is real, and look it up. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm here to help. I'm here to spread the truth, not lies. Oh, looks like I'm back. I can load it up now. But yeah, that's what this show is all about, spreading truth. And if I'm wrong, I'm here. You correct me. You tell me. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a participation show. Feel free to talk. Feel free to share your ideas. I want to know what you want to talk about. But until I see some more comments about what you guys want to talk about, I'm going to go on because we've got good 20, 30 minutes to go in the show. But I'm going to look at my notes and see what I've got here. Real quick, I'm not going to get into it real deeply unless you guys want to. The last conspiracy theories and chill I didn't get very many views. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but I discussed whether or not Bernie was in on rigging the 2016 Democratic primary. And like I said, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. I had a lot of subscribers get pissed off at me and leave over that video. I knew people would get mad because I'll let you in on this much. I don't think Bernie was in on rigging the 2016 Democratic primary. I think that's ridiculous. I think all of that Bernie sheepdog nonsense is ridiculous. I don't think there's any way that man was in on rigging the primary. That's just me. That's just me, in my opinion. But I believe we need to get over that. No matter how you feel about it, I believe we need to get over that and move forward. And Bernie's one of our greatest allies moving forward. So no matter how you feel about him, even if you feel like he is a sellout, and you know that sits true with you, it doesn't with me, but if it sits true with you, even if you feel that way, you have to see him as an ally. You don't have to agree with the man all the time. I don't agree with him all the time. and I don't need to. I'm realistic about it. As far as politicians go, he's the best we got. That's just the way I see it. He's the best we got right now. But it looks like I got one person with me. Um, Anything you want to talk about? We got time. I don't want to wrap up yet. Plus, I bailed on you guys. I was 5 minutes late. I was 5 to 10 minutes late, and I bailed to look for a lighter. I owe you guys an extra 5 minutes for getting up to look for that lighter. I know he's now, but maybe he'll come by. There's a viewer that has been suggesting that I bring up Verichip, and I want you to know I'm gonna. I looked into it. I watched some good videos on it today. It's something I'm interested in doing a video on at this point. So I want you to know it's in my wheelhouse now, and I'm gonna look into it and do a video on that. For those of you who don't know, there are RFID chips. It's called Verichip, and it would basically hold all your information. And this chip, through 5G technology, would be connected through the internet and could be turned off. Let's say you were a protester and you were making too much noise. It could turn off your chip and cut off all your resources and cut off your. Robert Stanley says, they live, we live, they live. Yeah, they live. That's interesting. Look this up. There was a movie in the 80s with Roddy Piper, a B movie called They Live. John Carpenter made this movie. I believe so. I want to say it was, no, I think I'm wrong now. Somebody correct me. Who made this movie? They Live. I want to say John Carpenter, but I don't know if that's right. Anyways, we'll move on. So this movie, Roddy Piper's character, he gets these special glasses, and these glasses allow him to see the world for what it really is. So like he'll look at a billboard and it'll say obey, and he'll take off the glasses. Glasses on, they appear different than everyone else. And it's a fascinating movie to watch, especially if you're into conspiracy theories at all, because I believe that most people in Hollywood, not most people in Hollywood, but your connected high up people in Hollywood have information that the average person doesn't have. They get invited to things the average person doesn't get invited to. So, I believe John Carpenter knew a little bit of inside information when he made that movie. I don't think he's that. I don't think his creativity could have lined up with reality so neatly any other way. But watch They Live. It's an older movie, but it stands up, and you get a kick out of it. It's wild. Robert said it was John Carpenter. See, I should trust my memory. I don't, though. I don't. I have good reason for not trusting it. I would like you to know that. There is good reason for not trusting my memory. Especially on a show like this, I don't want to say something for a fact. If I'm not sure, I'll always let you know I'm not sure. That's one thing I'll stay on the level with you. You can at least be sure of that. If you're a fan of this show, I won't bullshit you. Robert says he just made a movie, bro. Did he? I know he still makes movies. John Carpenter is a legendary movie maker, but this particular movie, They Live, is a B movie. It was a lower budget movie. It was in the beginning of John Carpenter's career. Robert says, believe in yourself. I believe in myself. I'll move mountains. You build a wall in front of me, I'll dig a hole underneath you. I'm coming for you. I'll punch a dragon. Don't you see me breathing fire? No, I do. I know this is my goals right now are to grow the YouTube channel. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize. I don't know why, because there ain't gonna be no damn money in making videos. But I don't want to beg. And this isn't begging. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I put my Patreon link in the description. I didn't use Patreon. I haven't put it in the description or even mentioned it since I came back. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in the description because this stuff isn't free to do. And if you feel like supporting a show like this, I feel like you should have the option to do that. And I feel like as a show like this, I'd be cheating myself by not at least having the option there for you to donate to support the show. So if you want to donate to support the show on Patreon and help me do things like get a better microphone, get a better speaker like I'm getting today. I got like Babos is out buying me and I'm excited about. But things like that. For me to be able to do that, you want to support the show and you want me to be able to grow and grow this into what I'd like it to be, which is, I'd like it to be its own network. I'd like to eventually, 5 years down the road, have my own TYT type network that doesn't sell out to the establishment. You know, uh, a news network where you can come and you can watch conspiracy theorist type shows like this, but also regular real news about actual events that affect real people presented in a real and honest way. I would like to do that too. For those of you that were with me before I left, I did leave for a little while, but those of you who were with me before I left, you know that I had a little news show for a little while, Hindsight News. I'm going to get back to doing that kind of stuff too, in some shape or form. I just haven't wanted to put too many restrictions on myself, which is also why I didn't share the Patreon link. But tonight it's in the description. So if you'd like to support the show, if you like the show, you can support us through Patreon. But you can also support me for free. Share the show, like. I love seeing the likes on the screen. For whatever reason, I'm that guy who walks up the toy aisle in Walmart and presses try me on every friggin' toy that has a try me button. I'm that guy. So if you can entertain me by putting the likes on the screen. I love watching the little thumbs up and the hearts go up and down. But and that helps me show up in the algorithm better, which I explained earlier. So interact, comment on the show. All the interactions help me show up better in people's threads. But for now, we'll move on to another comment I got written down, unless I see something here. Robert says conspiracy theories and chill for life. Jeff says second guessing myself is all too familiar. Sergeant J, do you guys watch Burn One? Sergeant J told me that I do that too much, but it's part of me. You know what I mean? And I think, I look at people that I admire or I admire their climb in the industry or whatnot. They did the same thing. They laid themselves out there. Like Bill Hicks is my hero. Bill Hicks laid himself out there. He would tell you if he was having a bad show. He would tell you. He would tell the crowd. He wouldn't be honest and wouldn't bullshit you or be fake. And, so it goes both ways. You can look at it as, no, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be real. I shouldn't let that come through. I shouldn't talk about the faults in the show. But I do that because it's only going to get better. And one of the ways you can help it to get better is supporting me on Patreon or sharing and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate that too. But for now, let's see. Anybody talking about a conspiracy they'd like to talk about? Because we've got some time left. I'm going to do about another 15, 20 minutes. So I was talking a little bit about Verichip. There's, like I said, a viewer that had requested that I do an episode about Verichip, and I'm letting you know now, if you're here, if you come by later, I notice you're not here right now, but if you come by later, I will do that episode. I'm going to have to do research on it, though. I'm a little bit familiar with it, but I want to be more familiar. I want it to be a good episode. I really want to get into it. And also, it's going to sound better because my friend Robert Stanley, who's here right now, taught me how to use Audacity today. So I'm going to be able to start adding music into the shows and into the videos. And I'm going to start being able to play with a little bit of that stuff and making it sound a little better. So not only will I be pretty, as I normally am, but I will sound a little better too. Jeff says, I think open-minded people tend to second guess. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Because we're open to the possibility that we're wrong. So if you're open to that possibility, you have to second guess yourself. You're constantly wondering, am I right? Am I right now? Am I wrong? You know? We could talk about the hoax war on terror, the fake war on terror that these sons of bitches started for their agenda in the Middle East, and how now they're trying to move that into Iran through Syria. We shouldn't be messing with any of those places. Yeah, I seen a funny meme where it's got Iran and it's got all these little flags around it, and it's like, look how much Iran wants war, how close they put their country to our military bases. We've had an agenda in place since before 9/11 to attack all these countries, and Iran is on that list. It has nothing to do with whatever lie they feed you. Whatever lie they feed you, go ahead and throw that right out your mind. It's already been put in motion. It was put in motion a long time ago. It's an agenda. You know, Robert, you never stay very long. No, man, check it out later on if you want to watch the rest of the show, because like I said, I'm going to go for about 15 more minutes, but it was good for you to come by. I'm glad you got to see me. But let's see. Looks like I got one person here. Anything you want to talk about, go ahead and comment. I'm going to let you know some things I've got in the works for future episodes. I want to do an episode on the Oklahoma City building explosion. I want to do a real good in-depth video on that. That's something I need to refresh my memory on. So I really want to dive into the research. If you have any good research on the Oklahoma City bombing, I'd be very interested in seeing that. Also, if you have any new information on 5G, I'm going to do more on 5G. I want to do a more in-depth video on 5G. Something that's more in the 30-minute range instead of 8. This one tonight was only about 8 minutes long. But I'm going to do a longer one on 5. And then, excuse me, I've got a bigger project, a series I'm working on about MK Ultra. And I'm real excited about that. That's a little ways off though, but I want that to be, it's probably going to be about an hour and a half, I'd say an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And I'm going to break it up into 3 or 4 episodes that we're going to run from politics and stuff. And I'm also going to post them on my YouTube, of course, which I put a link to earlier in the comments on this thread. So go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube. I need to get my subscribers up to 1,000. That's one way you can help me out. But anybody got anything that they want to talk about? Let's see. Is anybody still here? Well, let's see. What else do I have written down? Oh, this will be a good thing to close on, or you can still talk. Don't think that that means don't comment. But I was recently seeing this one person. There's this person, this particular person. I'm not going to blast them by name, but they've been posting on Facebook about how you can't be woke and into politics because politics is just theater and it's all fake. So you can't be woke. And oh, Babels is here. Look at you, got me present. I'll do a live unboxing of my new speaker. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not going to try that. It's too thick of plastic on the thing. But Babel's got me a new speaker, Steve. So next week, next time, I don't want to say next week, but next time I do a Conspiracy Theories and Chill, it should sound better. Jeff says all those subjects sounds interesting. Yeah, so we got exciting stuff coming forward on the Conspiracy Theories and Chill. A lot of videos I'm looking forward to doing, and I'm looking forward to them sounding better now too. With like I said, Robert from the Right to Reason podcast was nice enough to show me how to use Audacity today. So I'm gonna experiment with that and hopefully get better with that. And things should start sounding better around here with the speaker and Audacity. But anyways, thanks for coming by. This has been Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and I will see you guys the next time we have an episode ready. Thanks for coming, and remember to like and share the YouTube videos that I had in this comment thread. And again, if you want us to support the show, the link to Patreon is in the description. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.